we tonight, gentlemen?
Good
evening there. Welcome to our...
I'm good, mate.
Okay, so yeah, we're just going to be looking ahead to Gameweek 18 and reacting to our mini league and looking ahead, really looking transfers we look and do. Jay, is anyone in the chat at the moment?
Yeah, we've got loads of people in the chat at the moment. Yeah, we've got some guys, as Steve-O said in chat, we had a bit of a technical hiccup setting up last minute. So apologies for starting a little bit late. We're 10 minutes late for the stream. But yeah, we're here now and we're ready to talk about FPL. And welcome, Jack. Hello, FPL Booner, Brett, and anyone else that's tuned in. I hope you enjoy the podcast. Got Ian Darlington in chat as well. So yeah, take it away, Steve.
Yeah, so we'll just quickly reflect on the last game week, which was game week 17. This is going to be the most quickest thing possible because we kind of looked over it on Sunday, really. But we ended up with... So, Jason, we're going to talk about our Torbay Elite mini league, which, as Dan always states, which we take very seriously. It's our cash mini league. And, Jason, of course, you're top of the league. You got 63 points. Overall rank of 3,559. Tell us about your team, mate. Did very, very well. Double my points, basically.
Yeah, so at the moment, obviously really happy with my team. I've got a little bit of a problem with the defence at the moment with obviously Trent Alexander-Arnold sitting there and a doubt on Cedric. But yeah, it's pretty budget. And going into next week, this weekend, I'm not planning on getting many points from them. In terms of my midfield, they really performed well. Sterling, Snodgrass, Sane, all returning some good points. Again, going into this debate about having your money invested into the midfield as opposed to having two big hitters up front. Aubameyang, disappointing. Only 4 points from him after captaining him for Arsenal. Obviously, there's doubts about him now playing this weekend because of playing in midweek. Lacazette, will he start Lacazette? Will he play both of them? You just don't know at the moment with Emery. He seems to be a little bit sneaky. As a whole, like I said, when we reviewed the game week 17, and I think even you said, Steve-O, it's been a disappointing captaincy, but a pretty solid game week overall for me.
Yeah, so moving into second place, which is now Darren Monday. Got 57 points, up to 14,935th in the world. Yeah, as Jason will probably bring it up on the screen again. Another Aubameyang captain there, a bit of the fail. So on to third place, which is Terry Roos, drops down to third, 52 points there. Again, Jason will be bringing his team up. Another Aubameyang captaincy fail there. But, of course, there's Hazard in his team, which is, I'm sure, someone that we'll probably end up talking about tonight with the guys in the chat. Down into fourth, it's Ben Talley. He's been dropping like a fly. In fact, if I do this live right now and look at his game week history, I'm pretty sure that he's been dropping. In the last 7 game weeks, he's had 5 red arrows. He's down to 21,140 in the world. And yes, he didn't captain Aubameyang, he captained Kane. So he's like me, he's going to have a headache each game week for the next few with having Kane and Aubameyang in his team. Onto my abysmal team this week, I'm just dropping like a fly. Although, like Burnley, I'm a Burnley fan for any new viewers, and a bit like Burnley last year, we're not moving up from 7th and we're not going down from 7th. Or in this case, I'm not moving up from 6th. I'm not moving down from 6th. I just seem to create a huge gap between 5th and 7th, and I'm just stuck in 6th. I've got 32 points. Absolutely appalling game week. Was knocked out the cup. Just absolute rubbish there. I'm down to 91,352. And then we'll look at Dan's team briefly. Down into 12th, Dan. 44 points. How are you feeling about your team last week, Dan? Your captain Kane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out the cup. Arsenal out the cup. We've lost twice in 4 days. I'm out of the top 10, so it's been an absolutely brilliant week footballing wise. But yeah, I feel as I said in the podcast on the weekend, the Reaction Room podcast, I felt quite confident with my team going into it. It seemed to make all the decisions seemed to make. Kolasinac got injured before the game, so that was a real blow. Obviously, I had Wan-Bissaka coming off the bench. That was good. But Son, doesn't get any returns for me against Burnley, and then he scores against Arsenal last night. So it's just been that sort of week, really. Looking back at it, I don't have any regrets. No regrets. So, but yeah, I've got a bit of a goalkeeping headache this week coming up. So, gonna have to figure that one out, I think, really, because I've got Patricio and Schmeichel. Fixtures aren't looking amazing for either of those two, so I have to have a little tinker with that, perhaps.
Well, we'll look at that there. So in our league, between first and second, so Jason and Darren, there's 32 points. That gap is getting closer and closer. Between second and third, 4 points. Between third and fourth, 4 points. Between fourth and fifth, 25 points. Myself to fourth, it's 34. And Dan, 101 points between yourself and fourth. Now, you may be wondering what you on about first, second, third, fourth. Well, the reasoning is because that's where our cash prizes are, first, second, third, fourth, and various others. So now on to the ones that you guys are in. So we'll cover the top three. So Jack Gleeson, the absolute god of the overall podcast at the moment, 288 in the world. Just absolutely.
Wow.
Captain Kane there, got the double up of Sane and Sterling, absolutely fantastic there. Again, I'm sure Jason has got the team up on the screen there.
Yep.
Then down into the big winner in our elite FPL mini league, Suman Gutton, 76 points. A player that was knocked out the FPL Cup last week, but managed this week to get a massive 76 points. And as we joked in the Reactatory podcast, he's got Ben Davies. But these are what happens with these top players. These peculiar picks just seem to come through from them. And then again, we've got a Kane captain there. And then down into third spot, it's Graham Barker, 54 points. So Suman, he's 1,321 in the world. Graham's 1,594 from the world. And he played a 5-3-2. And as I always say with these top players, when they got Jorginho, it just says it all, really, that even if they've got a player of just basically non-real FPL attacking returns, they're still doing really well, and just says it all about how good these people are. And there we are. Because he had a really, really bad Saturday, but he turned it around with that Hazard the following Sunday, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So between first and second, there's 24 points. Between first and third, 27. Jason, you're 42 points off top spot, and you are just dropping with the more people that are getting involved.
Yeah.
And for anybody that does want to get involved with the Elite FPL Mini League, the league code's on top. Sorry, Jason, you were just about to say something.
Yeah, so I just want to big shout out to Brett Mollison in chat, because he's been waiting for us to start the podcast today, and it's for him. He's over in Perth, Australia, and it's 2:45 a.m. So massive props to him. Thank you ever so much for. He said that he likes watching our podcast, but this is one of the first ones I think the first one he's actually joined us live, and we are late. So I really am sorry, Brett, but thank you for joining us.
Just to joke with you, Brett, I'm actually above somebody in the Elite FPL, which is you. You're in 31st spot. I've got to have some.
All right, we're gonna scroll down.
And I want to do a bit of gloating over that. But you just reminded me again, as ever, if anybody is watching this live right now and you haven't subscribed to us, please just hit that subscribe button while you're watching, and it just helps our channel grow. So, lads, do you want to just go straight into the preview for this Game Week 18?
Yeah, I was going to read some of the comments, if that's all right, before we do that, because we've got a few people chatting away. And to start with, there's a lot here. There's a lot of things here, right? I'm going to stroll right up, and we have got new subscribers. So thank you for subscribing, Patrick Kane. Thank you ever so much. I've got a little bot in chat now. You guys don't know about it, but I've got this little bot that lets us know when we get subscribers, which is cool. Right, awesome. So I'm left with a defence of Robertson, Pereira, Doherty. We'll just have to make do, or a further -4 for a defender rarely pays off. Yeah, see, the thing is with Robertson, Pereira, and Doherty is you're hoping for their attacking returns and their attacking potential, and taking a -4 to bring in a defender. Depends if you're going to play 4 at the back or you're going to play 3 at the back. Assuming 3 at the back, due to the question, I wouldn't drop Doherty, Pereira, or Robertson, and I certainly wouldn't take a -4, regardless of their fixtures, because.
I know he doesn't say, but it'd be just interesting to know who the other two are. I'm just assuming they're just literally bench fodder, like Cardiff Peltier as an example.
Possibly. Let us know. Yeah, Fabianski has already paid off the hit. Absolutely. Brett Mollison. He's been an absolutely amazing pick for me over the last couple of weeks. Fabianski.
I think just to add, so funny enough, I found this piece of paper on here, which basically had what I predicted would be the returns of my 12-point hit over the preceding 3 weeks when I did this. I think for anybody that's taking a hit, should just, I'm stating the blinking obvious, but just look ahead of their fixtures and just pretty much do the maths and go, actually, do you know what? I can see them getting a clean sheet in the next 2 or 3, and it's paid off already. Remember, it's not really a -4. It's really a -2 if they're a guaranteed starter. I won't reveal it now, but I didn't take a hit, but I have done my transfer, and it is for a defender. So we'll go into that.
Yeah,
I wonder who.
We've got a lot of questions about players. FPL Boona said, do you think it's worth me taking a further -4 to bin Bellerin to upgrade to a 6.5 defender? Team currently looks like the following. Right, so he's got Fab, Robertson, Bellerin, Doherty, Sterling, Sane, Anderson, Fraser. So looking at your team, on the bench, you've got Doherty and AWB on the bench. I don't think it's necessary that you take a -4 to upgrade Bellerin to a 6.5 defender. Arsenal's fixtures, as we know, are very nice. But Burnley up next. I wouldn't be getting rid of Bellerin, even though we talked about it last podcast that not to bring in Arsenal defenders. I don't think it's a good idea taking Bellerin out personally. What do you guys think for a -4?
Well, I've already taken him out, so just because he's 50%, he's flagged up as 50%.
Is he 50%? He's going to play though.
He didn't play last night, and he wasn't even on the squad. So yeah, I'd be a bit. I think maybe worth taking the hit actually in that case. So.
Yeah, or playing Doherty instead.
Yes.
If you've currently got him on the bench. So moving down. Apologies, I didn't know he was 50%. More comments. Dinya being a great pick. Yes, absolutely. I wouldn't be surprised if he rises again before the weekend. Not keen on Leicester assets, if I'm honest. Something not right at the manager, and so it looks like a disconnect similar to Josie at United. Ooh, interesting. What do you guys think of Leicester City? Leicester City assets, guys?
I've got Schmeichel, and I got him in with my wild card way back when, and he's done really well for me actually. Got some really good returns, but I'm actually thinking now is the time to say you've served me well, as you say, but it's time to move on and get a new keeper. So Leicester assets, I wouldn't be too confident on.
The next 2 fixtures, Chelsea away, they're going to even score a goal there. Man City at home ain't going to. Well, we'll get into that in our preview in a minute. Actually.
Yeah. Right. Just quickly going to just scan through the last couple of comments because we've got lots of people chatting in chat and asking things and talking about things. So Sane rested, hottest topic. Yeah, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? The weekend. For the owners of Sane, I think he's a great captain choice. I really, really do think this weekend. I've got Sterling and Sane, and I've had to kind of do a toss-up, and I'm 50-50 at the moment. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to go with just yet.
Well, you're going to love the history for these 2 players, I can assure you.
Oh, right, okay, looking forward to it. Steve-O, I can't have you at the bottom of the league. I'm a nice guy. Haha, what can I say? That was Brett. See, he's letting you stay a little bit above him because he's, he was sympathetic for your game week last week, I'm sure. Sterling over Sane cap though, Jason, surely. It is currently on Sterling at the moment. But yeah, Sane, is I would say is little to choose between Sterling and Sane. If they both start, the thing is, I think Sane will surely. I would imagine that Sane would be on the field for more minutes, and I'm worried about the minutes that Sterling's going to get. But yeah, I'm going to be glued to the any information we can get for the remainder of the week. See if I can get more of an idea of what Pep's going to do. Steve-O, it's my first season, though I'm improving on the go. Would be interesting to see our scores over the last few weeks. I'm far behind, but catching. Brett says, Steve. Right. Scan through the comments. Salah can do it versus Wolves. Dejan, Salah can do it again versus anyone. It depends what mood he's in. And he's shown glimpses of pure brilliance this season so far. And for Liverpool, there's always that chance he can get another brace or another, even a random hat trick. He's an explosive asset, but is he worth the price? Is he worth the money that we're having to invest in him? Arsenal could well troll us in the next couple of weeks, mind you. Fancy them against Fulham on New Year's Day. Arsenal and trolling. What do you think about that, Dan?
They've been trolling me for the last 23 years, but no, I just hope we pick up. It's been the last 5 days or whatever, but there's some good fixtures. But we've also got Liverpool away on the 29th, so that will be very, very tricky. But let's hope we can get a win on the weekend.
Yeah, my money would be, Brett, that Sterling and Sane will both start, but you can't always be 100% with Pep, can you? Right, so let's go into the game week preview then, Steve-O.
And for anybody that's brand new watching, it's quite a simple format, really. We go through every single fixture. Myself, Dan, and we go up against the history, and we just simply predict what the score will be. And I just throw in a nice little statistic which will reflect on what's happened over the last 6 fixtures involved with the two teams. Dan will reveal his dead cert bet, which is his team which he believes is guaranteed to win. Most weeks, if anything, he just picks Man City and guarantees he's going to pick Man City now. So, Dan, are you picking Man City this week against Crystal Palace?
Yes.
There we are. Put your tenner on and get a penny, and have to give back the tenner to the pennies. What I also do as well is that for the more popular captain choices this week, I've also looked at their history versus the particular teams, and I'll tell you what, this week's very, very interesting, and I do highly recommend you listen to this because it actually normally comes to fruition, that it normally comes right. So anyway, we're going to kick off straight away, which is the Friday night kickoff, which is Wolves versus Liverpool. I think this is going to be bloody a tight game. I think this is going to be really, really tough for Liverpool to break down Wolves. I think they'll just get through. I think it'll be 2-1. The history is going with quite a comprehensive win here. They're saying 3-1. There's been no draws in this fixture. Wolves have only won twice, although the last time they won was actually the last time these two met, which was in the FA Cup last season. And that was 2-1. But yeah, the history is going with a comprehensive 3-1 victory. Dan, what do you think on Wolves versus Liverpool? Could they cause another upset like they have done in the last, I think it's 4 or 5 fixtures versus the top 6?
As I said in the previous podcast, Wolves have got a great record against the traditional top teams, and they've got this counter-attacking style, and they actually pretty much counter-attacked Bournemouth last game week. It just works really well for them. 3 wins in a row, but Liverpool on fire at the moment, and they've got the bit between their teeth. And Salah, as I alluded to, there's first mention of your favourite word, alluded. As he alluded to, Salah is explosive, and he can punish you sometimes if you don't have him in the team, but is he worth the value? But I'm going to say having said all that, I'm going to say 3-2 to Liverpool.
3-2?
Yeah.
Wow, considering...
My man Doherty's going to get me some points this week.
My goodness. Well,
he's been saving me most weeks.
Well, it's the podcast derby now. It's Arsenal versus Burnley. Oh, this is just... This couldn't have... I've been saying to guys, Arsenal fans at work, that this is probably the best time to play us now because... You just lost to Spurs. You're going to want to take your anger out on somebody. And along comes us, basically one of the worst teams in the Premier League. Yeah, we did really well against Tottenham, but to be honest with you, it was just a defensive brick wall. The only uplift that I have is actually the history between us. Now, admittedly, you have won 5. You've won all 6 out of the last 6 fixtures. They have been really, really tight, and the pattern has been 1-0, 2-1, 1-0, 2-1, 1-0. Now, last year it was 5-0. Last year was, if you remember, Dan, was when it was potentially for us to either overtake you in 6th and like be a point ahead of you, or be like a point behind you or something. I do remember it was very crucial, and we turned up and lost 5-0. Can you remember that, Dan?
Yeah, it was Arsene Wenger's last game at the Emirates, and like you said, you were just behind us. I think if you'd have won, you'd have been like a point behind us or something like that. Maybe someone in the chat can correct me on that one, but it was a very significant game for Arsenal. I think we just rose to the occasion that day, because Wenger's last game, and I think Burnley had a poor day at the office that day, obviously. But yeah, they've been tight games over the years, actually. They've been some very, very close games.
Some freak results, including, from what I remember, a Sanchez, was it 95th minute winner at the Emirates, and Cashel 4-1-0 at our place last year.
Yeah, Sanchez got a late penalty, and he got...
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, he's done it a few times, actually. So I'll give my prediction now. It's been a rubbish week to be an Arsenal fan. Hoping they can bounce back. I don't know where Mesut Ozil is. Apparently, he was playing Fortnite last night at home. He wasn't. He wasn't even part of the squad. So I think it'll be 1-0 to Arsenal, and it'll be a 94th minute goal from Aubameyang.
Well, I'm going 3-0 to Arsenal. I think it's going to be very comprehensive. History's going with a tight 2-1. Now, for anybody that's listening to this, Aubameyang, he played in that 5-0 win. If you're thinking of captaining him, and I know he's a popular pick, in that game he got 2 goals and an assist. So there's a bit of a... And I personally think that whenever we come up against these like high-class players, they always seem to punish us. And yeah, I think Aubameyang's a really good shout for the captaincy. On to a local derby, Bournemouth versus Brighton. I think this is the perfect opportunity finally for Bournemouth to pick up a win here. What is it, Dan? They've lost the last 7 games?
Something like that, yeah. Their form has just trailed off after some really good results earlier in the season. Yeah, it's been disappointing.
Yeah, I think they'll bounce back. I think with Brighton's poor away record at the moment, I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory to Bournemouth here. The history is going to go with a 2-1 victory to Bournemouth. They've won 4 out of the last 6, and the 3 that they've played at home against Bournemouth have all been victories. Dan, what do you think on your boys Bournemouth versus Brighton?
Yeah, my second team. I've still got Brooks in my squad. I've got to get rid of him this week. He didn't play last, which was good because Wan-Bissaka came in and got me the clean sheet bonus points off the bench. But yeah, Bournemouth have got to finally pick up. They've got to win this game. I'm going to go with the history. I'm going to go 2-1 to the Cherries.
So a clean sweep there, 2-1 to the Cherries. We're all saying that. On to Chelsea versus Leicester. God, this is going to be too easy for Chelsea here. I think if you have Hazard in your team, I think this could be a really, really good opportunity to captain him. However, the history doesn't go that way. He's played Leicester 6 times, 2 of them being a sub-appearance. He's only got 1 goal and 1 assist in those 6 times. So actually, maybe one to avoid. I'm going to go with a 4-0 comprehensive victory here. The history's going with a 3-0 win. Chelsea have won 5 out of the last 6 and keeping 3 clean sheets against Leicester in those wins. Dan, Chelsea versus Leicester.
Yeah, Eden Hazard, 11 million. He's getting consistent return. He might not be explosive like he was early in the season, but he keeps ticking over assists, goals, keeps contributing. He's the main man for Chelsea, and Chelsea's fixtures coming up are looking really good. So I'm taking some notes earlier, and I just put Hazard at the top of my page with loads of exclamations. So I'm quite, if you don't have Hazard, he could come to punish you over the Christmas New Year schedule. But yeah, Leicester sort of dropped off a little bit recently. I'm going to go a comfortable 2-0 win to Chelsea, I think, this weekend.
So on to a relegation battle. It's Huddersfield versus Southampton. And since that Arsenal win for Southampton, that shock win. I think they're going to go to Huddersfield. Huddersfield are really poor at home. I think they're going to sweep them aside. I think it's going to be a nice, comfortable 2-0 victory. The history, though, is going with a 2-1 win. Now, there's been no away wins in this fixture. And when there is a win for either team, it's been a very heavy win. We're looking at 5-1, 5-0, 2-0, 4-1. The last two games, though, have ended in 2 draws, though, mind. But the history is going to go with a 2-1 victory to Huddersfield. What do you think, Dan?
I just don't want to hear about Southampton beating us again. Yeah, I mean, new manager, got the players working really hard, and there's some potential differentials there, with their strikers whose names I can actually remember. But yeah, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Southampton and another win for the Saints.
Hopefully a Cedric assist in there as well. I've got got Rune Christofferson in chat from Norway. Hello, thank you for tuning in. And Andy Salter says to you, Dan, never too late to join the better side of North London.
Never happening.
Because you've been so down. You've been so down over the last few weeks, Dan.
Listen. If there's any Spurs fans watching, you've won twice at the Emirates. You've been there since 2006, so you enjoy getting beaten in the final by Man City. You can come back and talk to me then.
Yeah,
Burton. They're going to lose to Burton, you mean? So we'll get Jason involved in this next preview. It's seen as he's got potentially a captaincy dilemma here. And for a lot of people watching this, I know that a lot of people are going to be talking about Manchester City assets. It's Man City versus Crystal Palace. And this is the key. Everybody listening to this, just listen to this and just enjoy. So I'm going with 5-0. Whatever. Dan, just give us a quick score prediction. What do you think on this game? Man City, Crystal Palace. Then we can get into the history and maybe help people out.
All right, man. 3-0 Man City.
You're going 3-0.
Because I like Roy Hodgson, so I'm going to say 3-0. Be nice.
I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go 4-1 Man City.
4-1, okay. Well, the history is going with an easy 5-0. Out of the last 6, there have been 5 clean sheets. There's been 2 5-0s. There's been 1 4-0. Man City have scored 19 goals against City now. That was a terrible drum roll there. So what about the players that are going to potentially play? So if Aguero does play, he has played Crystal Palace 4 times out of 6, one of them being a sub-appearance. He's scored 3 goals and got 2 assists and got a yellow. Funny enough, the 3 popular players have all got yellows. It's really weird, including this young man here. So just to say that again, if Aguero starts, he's scored 3 goals and has had 2 assists against Crystal Palace. Now on to Sane, who does seem to like a yellow card in this fixture. He's played Crystal Palace 4 times. He's got 3 goals and he's got 2 assists. He's had 3 yellow cards in that. Now on to Jason's captain at the moment, which is Sterling. He's played Crystal Palace 5 times out of 6, one of them being a sub-appearance. He's got 4 goals and has had 1 yellow card. So what do you think about that, guys, regarding the history? Are you now feeling very confident regarding the fact that it just looks like a very comprehensive victory, and for the key players, look like they enjoy playing them?
Yeah.
You're nodding away there.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's going to be a case of which one do you pick out of Sane, Sterling, or even Aguero. I mean, there are people transferring in Aguero ahead of this weekend's games. I don't know if they know any inside information, but would it really surprise you to see Aguero play 60 minutes? I don't know. I mean, if he does, then he's going to surely be involved in some of the goals. I believe that my armband is going to stay on Sterling though, and I can't see anything more than a comprehensive win for City. 4-1, purely because I don't have any defenders from City, and I don't want people with Laporte doing well or Edison. I hate that. So yeah. What about you, Dan?
Yes.
Well, I mean, I've got still my team. I'm hoping for some more returns from him because Man City have had this annoying habit this season when I've had Man City defenders in of like smashing teams and just letting in a goal whenever these big wins. But yeah, I mean, because of all this Mourinho news this week, I actually forgot there was games on Tuesday.
Mourinho
and Man
news?
City did play.
What
Man
Mourinho
City
news?
did play. They played. Man City played Leicester away in the Carabao Cup, drew 1-1 and won 3-1 on penalties. Raheem Sterling missed a penalty in that game, by the way, during the shootout, but Aguero did play. And Sterling did play as well. So maybe he's just warming Aguero up for the weekend, getting some minutes.
Sorry to say this, but ironically, the history for Man City versus Leicester is rubbish. They only beat them by like the odd goal, and there's been a few draws in there. Ironically, in cup competitions, but Leicester do seem to have something over Man City, so to speak. So again, it doesn't. Again, when you look at this stuff, no coincidence these things kind of happen. And yeah,
if it weren't for Aubameyang having Burnley this weekend, I would have probably done the transfer Aubameyang to Aguero, because I don't think there's a better striker in the Premier League than Aguero.
Yeah, we'll go into this in a minute.
But anyway, yeah. Carry on.
We'll be
yeah.
But,
Newcastle, Fulham.
Newcastle, Fulham. I think if you can't score against Fulham, then you may as well be relegated. Quite simply. I think Newcastle will just edge this. I think it'll be 2-1. Although the history's going with a 1-0 close game to Fulham. There's been the last 6 fixtures. There's been 4 1-0s. 2 of them for Newcastle. 2 of them for Fulham. But over the last 6, Fulham have actually won 5 out of the last 6 fixtures. Quite a lot of them being in the Championship, mind, but that doesn't matter. So it's going to go 1-0 Fulham. Dan, what do you think on Newcastle versus Fulham?
Okay, so it's my classic line every week that I say, this is a massive game, and this is a massive game for both teams. This is a 6-pointer. Fulham have just let in so many goals, but they did have a lot of attacking play against West Ham in the previous game week. I'm going to go for a draw. I don't really know why, but I just feel that Fulham have got to get a result somehow, somewhere. I know Newcastle picked up with some big wins recently, and people are looking at Rondon as a potential budget striker. Yeah. Maybe some of the defensive assets as well. Get some budget players in to bolster the rest of the team. Get some points on board. But yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1. Now, on to the free... You must be loving this, Jason. This next game, because the history is suggesting more goals for you lot. It's West Ham. The
Derby
free-scoring West Ham United. Yep, against Watford. I think this is going to be a load of fun here. I think Watford like to score. They do. West Ham like to score. I think West Ham will just edge this 3-2. The history's going the opposite, though. It thinks it will be a Watford victory here. It's going 3-1 to Watford. Been quite a few red cards in this fixture. There's been 3. Watford have actually won 3 by a 2-goal deficit. And there's been 3 2-0 victories in this fixture. But the history's going to go with 3-1, mind. Dan, what do you think on West Ham versus Watford?
Should be a really entertaining match, actually. I've still got Chicharito penciled in for this game week. I think it'll be a high-scoring draw, actually. I'm going to go for 2-2. Watford got a good win last week, just about. Still got some great assets in there. Pereira, De La Feu, as you mentioned, doing his Lionel Messi last week against Cardiff. So, yeah, some potential. I think that could be one of the games of the weekend. I'm going to go 2-2.
Now, Jason, we'll get your thoughts in 2 seconds. It's Cardiff versus Man United. Now, I did all this prior to actually hearing Jose Mourinho being fired, but yeah, I'm going to stick with my prediction. I'm going to go with a close 2-1 victory to Man United. History staying exactly the same. These two have only met twice. United have got 1 win, which was at Old Trafford, and when it was at Cardiff, it was actually a draw. But before we go to you, Dan, for your prediction, Jason, do you think this is actually the perfect fixture for Solskjaer to kickstart the favourable fixtures for United?
Yeah, I do. I think that it's been the best Christmas present that United could have ever wanted. Lots of fans wanting a fresh start, and this is the opportunity for the players to demonstrate their value. And somebody said in chat earlier on, it's time for Paul Pogba to step up. Absolutely. And Solskjaer, he likes playing attacking football. He's been known at Mould to being an attacking manager. Obviously, I personally, like a lot of United fans, I've been watching United Stand and other podcasts of late, and it would say, like, the mentality should be, you may score 3 goals, but we're going to score 4. That should be the mentality at United. Let's play for a 1-0 win. After 20 minutes, we scored a goal after 20 minutes. Right, guys, sit back now. We'll control the game. I think that's just really naive, and I just find it so negative. And it seems like that's what we've had for so long at United. And I would just love now for the manager to say, right, guys, just go and have a bit of fun. Attack. We used to shout, attack. That's what the fans shout at Old Trafford. We don't want to sit behind the ball. And I am going to be glued to the TV this weekend, because I'm going to be looking to see A, the demeanour and the attitude of the players, and B, the lineups. I want to know who are his favourite picks, because I want to get a United player in. Their fixtures are looking really good, so it's a case of either Martial, Rashford, amazing value, and obviously Lukaku are options. So I'm going to be really using this game week to see that. What are you going to say?
You mentioned that barring Spurs on the 13th of January. Oh, it is good. It is all just green. So they got Cardiff, Huddersfield, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Spurs, Brighton, Burnley, Leicester, Fulham, and then it's Liverpool 24th of February, and then it's Crystal Palace, Southampton. So basically 2 reds out of the next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 fixtures. It's looking like it could be, 12 wins of 13. So it's looking good. Dan, what do you think on as just your prediction?
Yeah, I mean, just to quickly add to what Jay said, it's been a crazy week in football, really. To think that Solskjaer has taken over United against his old team, Cardiff, as well. I mean, you just can't write scripts like this, really. It's crazy.
How poetic.
It is very poetic, and this is like an audition for United's attacking assets for me. I actually considered Rashford before, because Rashford's actually been in fairly good form of recent. So I think with a new manager in charge, United will want to be proving themselves to him. I think it'll be 2-0 to United, to a professional away win. But I'm sure Neil Warnock would love to put one up United.
Oh, I think, yeah. Try and take advantage of that poor defence there of United. Although, ironically, I have actually bought in a defender of United, but we'll go into that in a minute. So we finish up with the game week, which is good old Everton versus Spurs. Again, I personally think this is going to be a tight game. The history doesn't think that, though. Certainly recent history. History's going with a 3-1 victory. There's been 3 draws and 3 Spurs wins, and the last 3 have ended as an aggregate of 10-2 in Spurs' favour. Now, if your Kane captainers out there, i.e. like me, you're going to enjoy this history. So he's got a hat-trick of 2 goals versus Everton over the last 3 fixtures. So I had Kane captain anyway since I picked my team, but for me, it looks like I think he has potentially, this is going to be his last chance saloon for me, personally, and I think Dan's gone completely offline there. So,
is he?
Unless he can hear me. Dan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think he's disconnected, old Danny boy. Let's see if we can get him back in the chat.
Yeah, Jason, it's Everton versus Spurs. I'm going 2-1. Like I said, it's Kane's last redemption. What do you think on this? Oh, Dan's back. Oh, good. You're back, Dan. Did you hear any of that? No?
No, I got the gist of it. Like, Spurs are in good form. Tough game away. I hate saying this, but I think it will be a 2-1 victory to Spurs, and I'm going to keep Kane in, to be fair, and Son.
Jason, what is the chat saying?
Right, so Andy Salter says a 0-0 draw. I don't know if he's talking about. I don't think he might be talking about United. Actually, he might be catching up to that. But yeah, Dan. They're saying that Dan was falling asleep on stream because his camera froze up. That's quite. So yeah, the chat's been talking about United really. Obviously, it's big news at the moment. Everyone wants to know what's going to happen with United with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in charge.
Well,
Ole is attacking minded. Was it Mould? Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Rune. What are you
Can
going
I
to say?
ask this quick question for the chat for anybody, people that are listening? So I have done a transfer. I got rid of Bellerin, and I really wanted to tap into United's defence because I just can't resist their upcoming fixtures. Now, the player I've gone for basically the fact that it just appears that he's a regular starter, is Lindelof. But it could be...
You should have gone with Ashley Young, mate.
I couldn't afford him. I couldn't afford Ashley Young. I was pointing you out. So I've gone with I think he's going to play Lindelof and Bailey, or Lindelof and Jones, one of the two. I just, based on everything I've looked at, I've just gone onto different websites and everything, and it just appears that Lindelof seems to be the main, give or take, starting berth. But yeah, I've gone with... So you're thinking Ashley Young... I mean, don't get me wrong. Of the pick, Ashley Young was it, but I had a 5.5 limit and I couldn't go, obviously, get Young. So you think that's a bad move, Jace?
I don't think it's a bad move. It's just that, obviously, under Mourinho, Lindelof, this season I've been watching United, Lindelof is a bit of a
liability.
He's a bit of a championship quality defender playing in United. I don't know. People call him in different communities. I've seen his name referred to as Lindelol. I don't know. Ever since that game where who was it for Tottenham? Striker, remind me, for Tottenham, not Kane. Lucas Moura. Ever since that game where Moura just completely outclassed him in every way, shape, or form, to go 1-on-1 with De Gea and score. I mean, I've just been like, oh my god.
Who United fan would you have as a back? Well, the two centre backs. Who would it be? Because I wanted to get Luke Shaw, but he's up injured at the moment. I didn't know.
United in defenders this year has been really. I think Mourinho said something like, "We can't get out of bed to go to the toilet without breaking a leg." I think he said that was one of the quotes he said. I would go with Bailly and with Rojo. I mean, Rojo's been through injury, but a fit Rojo, I would go with Bailly and Rojo myself. They're my two favourite centre backs for United. The Chuckle Brothers. Phil Jones and Lindelof. Yeah.
No, you.
Well, Rojo is only playing centre backs. I think we've got an excellent chance of getting a clean sheet against Cardiff, personally.
Dan, can I just say your camera's gone small for some reason? I don't know why it's gone small. And Jack,
gone on data again.
Oh right, okay, that might be. Oh, there we go. It's gone bigger again now. Steve-O, what games are you rocking on that PS4? Jack Gleason says. What games are you playing?
I don't even play it. It's used for YouTube only.
Bloody hell.
He plays Fortnite. He plays Fortnite.
Just like Ozil plays Fortnite.
Yeah, he was playing with Ozil last night, wasn't he? Brett Mollison's review on your transfer of bringing in your who'd you bring in again? Lindelof. Yeah. Brett Mollison says, "Cheers, Steve-O. You're making it easier for me to catch up to you, buddy." John Chappell in chat. Hello. Lindelof sounds like a reindeer. Maybe I could do Bellerin to Young for -4. Ooh, you could. No, I mean, I would. I mean, you could do going forward. Like I've always said, take a hit if you think the player you're going to get in is going to get you more points over X amount of games, and United's fixtures are looking brilliant. It's not a bad route into United's defence. I do like Ashley Young, and it's not a bad idea but it's one of those. It's one of those where like I'll toss a coin personally over that. What do you guys think about that?
Well,
Yeah,
I keep mentioning somebody, but I keep probably my connection. That is it, Dalot, the
Dalot.
Portuguese.
Dalot.
Dalot, yes. I hear him. I mean, he looked quite good the other week, admittedly against Fulham, but he could be quite interesting asset.
Is he playing because Shaw's out?
Yeah, probably, but still,
He's
be
played
interesting to see.
He's played 18 minutes against Southampton. Then he played against Arsenal the full 90, Fulham the full 90, and then he only played 45 versus Liverpool.
I'm gonna go with what Ian Darlington's saying in chat. He says my head is telling me to stay away from United right now. Let's see in a week or two. I mean, it's not a bad idea just to wait because everyone, the morale at the training ground, the morale at Old Trafford is going to be a lot better. There's no mistake about that. It's a bit of a lottery. Yeah, I agree. We don't know what his first team is. He doesn't know what his first team is yet. We don't know what the team sheet's going to look like. Rashford for Lacazette, what do you think? Ooh, not this week. I don't know. I just think going on what Ian Darlington said is not a bad idea. Just use this weekend. Even if you've got a transfer, you don't need to use it. Save the transfer and use this weekend as a bit of a. I think Dan's gone again.